Good morning, everyone. This is the Delaware County Commissioner meeting. It's Monday, August 3rd. It's about 4 minutes after 9. Let's open the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. Donna, could you call the roll?
Ms. Reagan? Present. Mr. King?
Here.
Mr. Henry?
Here.
Mr. Brook?
Here.
Okay, we'll go down to appointments. We need to officially appoint the EMS director and the EMA director. Just a few things. Mike Ashley, of course, has been the interim director for EMS. Mike's been with EMS for 33 years. He's been a paramedic for 30 years. He's been deputy director of EMS for about the past 5 years. He's been a officer of some kind for the last 20. Mike is more than qualified for that position.
I move so.
Sherry makes a motion to
I'll second it.
appoint him EMS director. We have a second. Roll call, please.
Ms. Reagan? Yes. Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Henry?
Yes. And
I requested those job descriptions, and just to make sure that we update those.
okay. And then the EMA director, and I know the EMAC board has a lot of say in that also. However, I think we still need to do that appointment, correct, John? Officially.
Yes.
So Deputy Director Catino, he'd been with EMA for the past, 3 to 5 years now? Been that long? So John's been the director there for the past 5 years. He's been a police reserve ever since he was 18 years old. He's been on the fire department in Albany for the last 20 years. John has a whole list of certifications, including a ton of hazmat certifications. And he also is more than qualified for the EMA director position.
So move.
Second.
Do we have a motion to appoint John Catino as the EMA director in a second? Donna, could you call the roll, please?
Mr. King?
Yes.
Ms. Reagan? Yes. Mr. Henry?
Yes. Congratulations to both those guys. Approval of the minutes, July 20th, 2020 meeting.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion to approve the minutes in a second. Roll call, please.
Ms. Reagan? Yes. Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Henry?
Yes. Contracts or agreements for approval, Railspur operating agreement, Brad Lookout.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Brad Bookout, Director of Economic Development and Redevelopment in Delaware County, and I'm here this morning with some good news. No pun intended, good news. I'd like to present to you the Railspur operating agreement with Good Industries. Rod Good is here. He is operator of Good Industries for a long time. Also with him is his COO, John Hartman from Good Industries. This is a long time coming. This is one of the first orders of business that you all assigned me to in 2015. And we've been working diligently, literally every week on it in some capacity since that time. But with your leadership and perseverance as commissioners, you've supported our efforts. And we've now managed to get to a point where we have officially repurposed the Railspur that is owned by Delaware County. This is a great milestone, and with this agreement, Good Industries will take over all maintenance of the Railspur, saving the county approximately $14,000 a year. Good will also pay the county for every ton of material shipped in and out of the spur. The agreement is for 2 years. Is an option for renewal with the agreement. You have a copy of the agreement. Revenue generated from this agreement can be used for road paving, water and sewer improvements, and other improvements in the industrial park. As I mentioned, these gentlemen are here today from Good Industries to share with you a little bit about what their intended plans are, what their use of the spur is intended to be. We have 3 businesses in the community right now. We want to thank you for your work and perseverance to make this happen.
You got to speak up a little bit, Brad, please.
We're having problems. Is that all?
Kind of humming over
Is
there.
it blue?
It's blue.
Okay.
You hear me now, okay? Apologies, but there we go.
There you go.
Between the mask and everything else, now you can hear me good. So anyways, gentlemen from Good Enterprises are here today, or Good Industries. I'm happy to say that the County Railspur is now available for use by all companies in Delaware County. 3 specifically want to thank you for your perseverance to make this available to them. And with that, I'd like to introduce John Hartman, COO of Good.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here. As Brad mentioned, it has been a long time coming. I pulled out some documentation, and next month will represent 5 years since we signed a memorandum of understanding. It has been a journey, but we can say now we're ready for the next step. And for us, this is very exciting. We have 2 facilities in Ohio. This will be our 3rd. We have a great working relationship with Brad and his office. And just want to thank the commissioners for your part in making this happen. It's a beautiful spur. It's a shame it hasn't seen any business, but we're prepared to change that. So our plans are to work diligently with the businesses that are already here. From an economic development standpoint, the 2 keys for what you would hope to see would be that we can use the rail to help retain the businesses that you have, provide them with expansion opportunities. That's one key aspect of transloading, is we're usually able to help businesses free up space in their facilities to handle more production. We work with them to find solutions to move some of their inventory, transfer some of that, if you will, to our hands so that we can help expedite that. It will also help with attraction as long as it's selective. But also business development. There might be folks that are contemplating starting a business here that now with the availability of rail, it makes it more realistic and gives them a greater reach. We've worked with the Norfolk Southern Railroad for, help me out, Rod, 26 plus years? Going on 30, yep. We're considered a premier transloader for that railroad, the reason being we handle almost anything that you can ship by rail. So that separates us from other rail transload businesses. And in the last several years, as Brad and I have been working on this, we also now have a good working relationship with the Union Pacific Railroad. And the advantages of that is that gives us reach beyond the west of the Mississippi. As I say, we're excited. We have one of our clients that we currently serve at our Camden facility that we are very close to signing 2 contracts to begin bringing rail cars into the spur, definitely before the end of the year. We'll start seeing cars move in. And we plan to grow from there. So if you have any specific questions, or Rod, if you'd like to add anything to that.
I can just introduce myself, I guess.
Okay.
I'm not the eloquent speaker that John is, but I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad that you all invited us up and that we've made this agreement, and I think we'll add to the county some business that you may not have gotten before. We've been in business, what, 44 years now, so I think we know a little bit about what we're doing, and we're going to try to do you guys well here. Thank you.
Thank you. Rod, while you're there, I come from a family business, and you just grew your business. Kind of give us a little timeline when someone wants something. How much of a leeway do you need and to get the rail? And
You're probably going to look at a good 2 months, wouldn't you say, John? Not because of us, because you have to go to the rail, and depending whether it's coming on one rail company or like the UP comes through Chicago and they got to go across the Chicago rail line and then they hit the NS. So depending how many railroads you got to deal with. it can be anywhere from 2 to 6 months. We've worked on some as long as a year before you get them. Hill Science Pet Food is a big customer of ours, and I worked on that for 7 years before we landed that contract.
But once you get a contract, though, they just, I mean, the timeline, I mean, you back them in and you load them and they ship them
Yeah,
out.
once the car gets here, we can unload a car in an hour. So, depending on what the customer wants, if they want a load a day or 2 loads a day, or there's usually 3 to 5 semi-loads on a railroad car.
Is that right? Yeah.
So, we can unload it in a day easy.
Well, welcome to Delaware
All right,
County.
thank you.
Brad, in the agreement, there's nothing in here about,
Hazardous material.
hazardous materials of any kind? Can we,
Yes, I appreciate you bringing that up. I did have some discussion with these gentlemen ahead of the meeting today, and they do not ship anything that's related to or considered hazardous material by EPA specifications. So they are okay with adding that clause to this agreement. So
Okay.
I will work with the county attorney to make sure that that is included. If you approve this today, subject to that revision, that would be much appreciated.
So that it will never be allowed.
so just to make it clear for anyone watching, this Railspur, you want to talk about the location, Brad?
Yeah, the location is located in the Park 1 Industrial Park on the northwestern side of Delaware County, near the intersection of State Road 332 and I-69. We'll service not only industries within that park, but other industry within the county that would like to have just-in-time shipping to their facility, where product would be brought in, be able to be unloaded via Good Enterprises, Good Industries trucks, and delivered to their facilities.
And the county originally paid to have that Railspur put in because of the Bravini project.
That is correct. Yeah, the spur was originally part of an incentive that was pledged by a previous administration for the Bravini project. Subsequently, due to the recession, Bravini did not work out. We are all well aware of that. The county has recovered $1.3 million in recouped incentive money from Bravini. The spur was a large portion of the spur. I can in fact say probably the majority of the cost of the spur was in fact paid for by a Department of Commerce EDA grant. The county matched the balance of that. It's been an asset that the county has owned and maintained now for several years, and we're to the point where the county is now able to get it to be a revenue-generating asset for the county to help supplement the county budget for infrastructure type of improvements related to the industrial park.
Well, we appreciate all your hard work on this. I know we was on you from the get-go to try to get something on that rail. So
Yeah.
we appreciate your work.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
I'll make a motion we approve, but I'd also like for Brad to work with John on putting something in there about the hazardous material.
So we have a motion to approve the agreement with addition to a hazardous materials clause.
Second.
And a second. Donna, could you call the roll, please?
Mr. King?
Yes.
Ms. Reagan?
Yes.
Mr. Henry?
Yes.
I will take care of that, and then I'll get it to all of you for signature, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, John.
I have a question. Since they're taking over the maintenance, do we need to do the crossing inspections anymore?
We will that at time of, I'll let you,
Okay,
hopefully that's sooner rather than later.
Okay.
So we want to save as
Yeah.
much money as we
Okay.
can. and
just let me know.
Get these guys.
But they'll pick it up.
Thank you.
Very good, thank you. Next is Schneider GIS Parcel Maintenance, Kyle Johnson.
Good morning, Kyle Johnson, Chief Information Officer, Office of
Very good.
Information and GIS Services.
Very good.
This is professional services for, well, let me back up. With the departure of my GIS technician in June, we don't have anybody that's able to do the property parcel maintenance in GIS, so I reached out to a couple different companies. Schneider had the best price and the best services, So this is agreement for them to take over just the basic parcel maintenance splits combined and those edits. They are also the same company that hosts our Beacon site, so it'll be directly integrated with that, and then they'll provide that data back to us as well. So I already have transferred the funds within my budget to cover this year and requested for my 2021 budget for the remainder of the contract for next year.
You shouldn't see any delay in the work at all, or,
Just what's between June and now, so.
but I mean, when the work is requested.
Oh, yeah, they have like, I think they said 3 to 4 day turnaround on stuff, so pretty quick.
Appreciate it.
I'll make a motion, we accept the service agreement.
Second.
We have a motion to approve the agreement in a second. Roll call, please.
Ms. Reagan?
Yes.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Henry?
Yes. Thanks, Kyle.
Thank you.
Next is United Way grant, Emily Anderson.
Good morning, Emily Anderson, Court Administrator. I'm back for a different grant for our eviction mediation program. This is to get this program marketed. So I'm going with United Way. They're supporting our program. I don't know if it's going to be what the exact amount's going to be, but it could be anywhere from $500 to $2,000 depending on what we go after. So I'm working with Pathstone, which is our referral program, our referral organization, and we're going to work on exactly what we want to do to get it marketed. I know at least part of it will be flyers that we're going to make up, and then possibly some billboards or some Facebook ad campaigns.
Good.
So I just need approval to go after that grant.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
A motion to approve this grant in a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Ms. Reagan?
Yes.
Mr. Henry?
Yes.
Thank
you,
you.
Emily. Emergency Declaration 2020-15, John.
Yes, this is an extension of the Emergency Declaration 2014, because the governor extended the pandemic health emergency until September 2nd, 2020, and because of the Back on Track 4.5, which is continuing on through September, at least the end of August 2020. I continued all the various requirements of 2014 into this 2015, just to continue with the health emergency that still exists in the state of Indiana, according to the governor.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
A motion to approve the Emergency Declaration 2020-15 and a second. Roll call, please.
Ms. Reagan?
Yes.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Henry?
Yes. Thank you, John. All right, next, ordinances for adoption. Ordinance number 2020-010, Delaware County Commissioners Ordinance for Public Solving Court Grant. Go ahead.
This Emily Anderson, Court Administrator. This is a grant for juvenile court. They have problem-solving court out there. I believe it was for $9,500. So I just need a fund set up to be able to use that grant.
I'll make a motion to approve. Well, second reading, yes.
Second.
To approve 2020-010.
Second.
We have a motion to approve and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Ms. Reagan?
Yes.
Mr. Henry?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next is resolutions for approval. Resolution number 2020-032, resolution of Delaware County Board of Commissioners approving transfer county-owned surplus personal property to the town of Selma. John?
Yes, this is, the town of Selma had made a request to the highway department for, I think, one of their lift trucks to help in the town of Selma. This is declared surplus by the highway department. And so this is the first step. The town of Selma will have to adopt a similar resolution. Then you can transfer this bucket truck to the town of Selma for their use.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion to approve the resolution and a second. Roll call, please.
Ms. Reagan?
Yes.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Henry?
Yes. Okay, any department heads or elected officials wish to speak? Okay, payment of claims, $1,604,658.22.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion to pay the claims in a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Ms. Reagan?
Yes.
Mr. Henry?
Yes. Okay, next is the public comments, and we have one person signed up. It's Liz Yetter, I believe I said that correctly. You're with Delaware County Invasive Plant Project.
Hello, my name is Liz Yetter. I'm here on behalf of the Delaware County Invasive Plant Project, which is a newly formed SISMA in Delaware County. SISMA stands for Cooperative Invasive Plant Management Area. They are part of a larger statewide initiative, the Indiana Invasives Initiative, to form these groups within every county in the state. Currently, through the Indiana Invasives Initiative, we are working with approximately 60 counties with SISMAs in various levels of completion. The one here in Delaware County currently has their mission statement, which is to spread awareness and educate the Delaware County community about invasive plant species through ongoing outreach education by working with local partners to identify and address invasive species problems. So they've already had 2 very successful events. One was a do-it-yourself weed wrangle, working with partners with Red Tail Land Conservancy and Miniatures to Gathering Place. We were able to put out large barrels for people to go out and do a self-led garlic mustard pull. That was during this May. And then just 2 weeks ago now, we had an ID workshop out at Ernest Woods, where we had 12 community members come out. And we did kind of one-on-one ID throughout the park. So this project got started up here on behalf with a lot of help from Becky Doherty at Soil and Water. She was unable to join me today. So this is a community-based group that works to educate about invasive plants, which is one of the main threats to our natural resources here in the state of Indiana and throughout the United States. Any other questions?
You might give us your title with the state and how important it is for the farmers to participate.
So I work for a nonprofit, the Southern Indiana Cooperative Invasive Management Group. On the statewide project, the Indiana Invasives Initiative, my title is Regional Specialist for Eastern Indiana. I cover about 15 counties on this side of the state. Delaware is one of my most northern counties, and then I go all the way down to Ripley County, kind of covering everything in between. I have 4 counterparts covering the rest of the state. So.
And you're wanting to sign up some farmers, I understand.
So through this, we offer Landowner Surveys, which is a free program for anyone. It doesn't have to be farmers. It could be a 1/4-acre lot in town or a 20-acre or more wood parcel outside, where we come out and we offer one-on-one evaluation of an area. We give them handouts and a whole bunch of resources on what their invasive species are. We help them learn to ID them and write up a report with best management practices.
And Liz, it's important for us to get this started because many people who go to Florida and go through Georgia and Alabama, and that vine that they see everywhere.
The kudzu.
But I understand that it's here in Delaware County.
I don't know that for sure, but it wouldn't surprise me. We do have several sites throughout the state.
Yeah.
If you believe you have kudzu on your property, contact the DNR Department of Entomology and Pathology. They have a specific program for kudzu.
So that's one that we wouldn't handle, but the DNR would be the
DNR
contact.
would be the one for that.
Yes. A botany teacher told me that we do have it here and need to eradicate it.
Yes.
So I appreciate all your work and coming today to share this with us.
Yeah, not a problem. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Liz,
Yes.
is there an email address that if someoe's watching and they want to try to contact you to get more information, do you have an email address?
They can email me at Liz, L-I-Z, at SICIM.info.
You might give your card to Mark.
Yep, I'll have cards for
We'll
anyone
put
who
that
wants.
Very,
and
very
Kyle
good.
Also. Yeah, our new
Thank you
CIO.
for your work.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thank you
it.
guys for having me.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for safe travels home.
That's good. I get lectures from my youngest son who's a wildlife biologist about invasive species all the time, so.
There you go. John, are you seeing anything on our email?
Just one comment, and it was, so it's not a question or anything.
Okay.
So.
All right. there's
Make a
not,
motion to recess.
Second.
we have a motion to recess and a second. Donna, could you call the roll, please?
Ms. Reagan,
Yes.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Mr. Henry.
Yes. We're in recess.
Thank you.